The American Southwest is facing a growing water crisis, as prolonged drought conditions and increasing demand threaten the region's water supply. Climate scientists warn that megadroughts, severe, decades-long dry spells, are becoming more frequent due to rising global temperatures. Recent studies indicate that the current Southwest drought is the worst in at least 1,200 years, based on tree ring data and climate reconstructions. The Colorado River, a major water source for millions, has seen drastically reduced water levels, impacting states like Arizona, Nevada, and California. Lake Mead and Lake Powell, the largest reservoirs in the U.S., are at historically low levels, raising concerns about long-term water availability. Prolonged drought conditions have forced mandatory water restrictions, affecting residents, farmers, and industries across the Southwest. As urban populations grow, cities like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles are struggling to balance water supply with increasing demand. Agriculture accounts for nearly 80% of water usage in the Southwest, making it one of the most vulnerable sectors to prolonged drought. Farmers in California's Central Valley, one of the most productive agricultural regions in the world, are facing water shortages that threaten crop yields. Many farmers have been forced to abandon fields, reduce planting, or switch to drought-resistant crops to cope with declining water availability. Groundwater depletion is accelerating as overpumped aquifers struggle to recharge, leading to land subsidence and long-term water scarcity. Climate models predict that the Southwest will become even hotter and drier by 2050, with less frequent but more intense rainfall. The snowpack in the Rocky Mountains, a crucial water source for many rivers in the region, is shrinking due to warmer winters and early melting. With less snowpack, rivers receive less runoff, reducing the amount of water available during peak summer demand periods. The Colorado River Compact, a nearly 100-year-old agreement that divides the river's water among 7 states, is under pressure due to declining flow rates. The river's overall flow has decreased by about 20% since the early 20th century, and further reductions are expected as temperatures rise. Disputes over water rights are intensifying, as states, cities, and farmers compete for dwindling resources in an already overallocated system. The federal government has intervened multiple times to force reductions in water use, but long-term solutions remain uncertain. The Hoover Dam, once a symbol of human control over nature, is operating at reduced capacity as low water levels limit hydroelectric power production. Cities are investing in desalination plants, wastewater recycling, and water conservation programs to offset declining freshwater supplies. Desalination, while promising, remains expensive and energy intensive, making it an unlikely large-scale solution in the near future. Water recycling initiatives, such as toilet-to-tap programs, are gaining traction despite initial public resistance to reusing treated wastewater for drinking. Some cities are exploring stormwater capture systems, storing rainwater underground to replenish aquifers and reduce reliance on surface water. Arizona is experimenting with cloud seeding, a process that increases rainfall by dispersing particles into clouds, though its effectiveness remains debated. The water crisis is leading to increased political tensions, with state governments clashing over water rights and federal intervention. Tribal nations, which hold some of the most senior water rights in the Southwest, are increasingly asserting their legal claims to protect their water resources. Wildfires, worsened by drought, are further stressing water supplies, as burned landscapes reduce the ability of watersheds to retain and filter water. The increasing frequency of day zero scenarios, where cities nearly run out of water, is forcing policymakers to rethink long-term water management. Las Vegas has implemented some of the most aggressive water conservation policies, including bans on non-functional grass and incentives for homeowners to use desert landscaping. California has imposed water restrictions on residential use, limiting outdoor watering and encouraging homeowners to install water-efficient appliances. Arizona is limiting new housing developments in some areas, requiring proof of a 100-year water supply before approving new construction projects. Some experts warn that climate migration may accelerate, as water scarcity drives people out of the driest parts of the Southwest. Real estate values in water-stressed regions are beginning to fluctuate, with some buyers hesitant to invest in areas at risk of long-term drought. Scientists warn that Lake Mead and Lake Powell could reach dead pool status, meaning water levels would be too low to generate hydroelectric power. The Salton Sea, California's largest lake, is drying up rapidly, leading to increased dust storms, air pollution, and ecological collapse. Irrigation-dependent industries, such as alfalfa farming, are being re-evaluated, as critics argue that high water use crops should be phased out. Some states are turning to water banking, storing excess water underground during wet years to prepare for prolonged dry periods. The Southwest's water crisis has global implications, as reduced agricultural output could impact food prices and supply chains worldwide. Advocates are pushing for a shift toward more efficient irrigation techniques, such as drip irrigation and precision agriculture, to reduce water waste. Investments in green infrastructure, such as rain gardens and permeable pavements, could help cities manage water more sustainably. Federal funding for drought resilience projects has increased, with billions allocated for water conservation and infrastructure improvements. Water conservation campaigns are urging individuals to take small but impactful actions, such as shorter showers, fixing leaks, and using water-efficient appliances. Some researchers are investigating alternative water sources, such as atmospheric water harvesting, which extracts moisture from the air. The energy-water nexus is becoming a critical issue, as hydroelectric dams struggle to generate power due to falling reservoir levels. As temperatures rise, the demand for air conditioning is increasing, leading to higher electricity consumption and further stressing water supplies. Scientists predict that monsoon season may become less reliable, further complicating water planning for states that rely on seasonal rainfall. Some policymakers propose rethinking the Colorado River Compact, adjusting water allocations based on actual river flow rather than outdated agreements. Water justice activists are raising concerns about inequitable water access, as marginalized communities often face the most severe shortages. The Southwest is experiencing an increase in water theft, as desperate individuals and businesses illegally tap into water lines and fire hydrants. Major beverage and agricultural corporations are coming under scrutiny for their large-scale water consumption, with calls for stricter regulations. Some experts believe that future wars and conflicts may be fought not over oil, but over water, as scarcity becomes an increasingly pressing issue. Aquifer depletion is causing land subsidence, where the ground sinks due to excessive water extraction, damaging roads, buildings, and pipelines. Recent studies suggest that restoring beaver populations in certain areas could help retain water in landscapes by creating natural wetlands. The American Southwest must adapt to a hotter, drier future, relying on a combination of technology, policy reform, and conservation to manage water scarcity. Despite the challenges, there is hope that innovative water management strategies can prevent total collapse and sustain life in the region. The future of drought in the Southwest will depend on bold decision-making, international cooperation, and individual responsibility to secure water for generations to come.